Hey you guys, how's it going? Today it's been on my mind for weeks and I've been like, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably like my fifth take on trying to put this out there, so may this be the last take before I post the video. But today we're gonna be talking about survival mode. I been wanting to talk about this for a while. I just don't know. Okay, if you hear snoring in the background, it's Cairo. But let's get into it. Survival mode. A lot of us are in survival mode. Let me get my thoughts together. I've been in survival mode since for as long as I can remember. Even in like as a minor, I remember being in survival mode. I mean, let's first talk about what the hell survival mode is. Survival mode is when you're constantly grinding, you're constantly living paycheck to paycheck, or you're constantly trying to make sure there's a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table, food in the fridge. Like, I feel like a lot of us are in survival mode and we either know it, but we just settle for it, or we don't know. We just mistake this as living. And I can't be mad at you guys. I can't be mad at myself too much, because if you think about it, we were kind of sort of conditioned to be all right in survival mode. We are okay just being human doers and existers. We're okay with just existing. Living is what we're chasing for. We're chasing for the American dream. We're chasing for this idea of just, I don't know. But a lot of us are in survival mode. Let me talk more about it. I first want to talk about how we may get it from our parents, and they might get it from their parents, who may get it from their parents. My parents were never together, but I know I've observed them both. I love them both dearly. I've watched them both closely. And what my parents taught me, without knowing that they taught me, is they taught me how to survive. And don't get me wrong, there's instances in your life where you should know how to survive. There's instances where you have to go into, work mode, go hard mode, and just go all in. You might have to work 3 jobs for a couple of months. You might have to, go hard for a few months. Yes, you should know how to survive, but you shouldn't stay in that mode. That mode is dangerous to stay in that mode and in that way of living, in that mindset. So back to my parents, they taught me how to survive. All my life, they taught me to work a good job and stay with that job. Go on vacation sometimes, live a little, spend your money on things you like. And then when you retire, that's when the real fun begins. You get that retirement, man. You can go to Tahiti, you can go to Jamaica and live your best life if, you make it to your retirement. And if there is such thing as retirement by the time we're old. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a 90s baby. And a lot of us, let me just talk about me. I thought if I went to college and got myself a good job, I'd be good, but I feel duped. I feel like I was lied to. I did not have to go to college. It was a great experience, and this is just my opinion, but I know I'm not the only one in my generation that feels duped by, if you go to college and you get yourself a good job, no, honey, that just made me more in debt. But I digress. So my parents taught me how to survive, but who taught them how to survive? Yeah. So that's one way I know that's how I got into survival mode. Another way I got into survival mode is through the school system. I mean, think about it. We were literally taught to survive, to go to work, to obey, to listen, to make good grades, to follow the rules. And mind you, laws are needed, rules are needed. But why didn't they teach us how to make multiple incomes? Why didn't they teach us financial literacy? Why didn't they teach us about stocks and investment and credit scores? And they teach us how to go in debt and stay in debt. That's what college did. That's what it taught me, how to go in debt, how to take out loans and pay them loans off one way or the other. Like, I think I'm rambling, but I hope you guys are getting what I'm saying about survival mode. Survival mode is, to me, is constantly working to live, working to survive, working to eat. Now, mind you, you have to work. I'm not saying don't work, be lazy, do the shortcut, do it the easy way. Like, no, we need workers for sure, no doubt. There's a difference between someone who just works and exists, and then someone who works and who's actually living, who's working towards financial freedom. You can have several jobs and still be financially literate. You can work several jobs and still make investments and flip stuff and make things happen. Like, we got to get out of survival mode. We got to. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to pick up my siblings, so I gotta make this quick. So school taught me how to survive and stay in survival mode. Parents love them to death, but they taught me how to exist and stay in survival mode. And last but not least, you know what's crazy? One thing I want to say about survival mode before we go into the solutions and what I'm planning on doing to get out of this survival mode is, oh my goodness, the brightness. I remember with my late grandma, I used to watch Animal Planet. I don't know if Animal Planet is still a thing. Animal Planet is this channel where you learn about nature and animals and how they survive and how they live, and it was very educational. It was very fascinating. Like, if you just sat and you just watched the channel, you'd see all types of stuff. Like, you learn a thing or two about your planet. Like, I feel like everyone should know something about the planet and the food chains and animals, but that's not the point. What I learned, and I can't believe like 2 and 2 are like coming together. There will be a time, like, for example, animals, they get this. Like, animals, we're supposed to be above and like respect the animals, love the animals, but we're supposed to be above them. We're supposed to be on a higher chain of them. But it's crazy how, if you observe them and you look at them today, they kind of got their ish better a little bit more than humans in a way. Let me explain. So, if you think of, like, I don't know, antelope and a lion. Antelopes could be chilling, they hang with the family, they're eating, they're doing this, they're doing that, and then boom, a lion comes trying to eat them. So boom, they go into survival mode. And next thing you know, the antelope is running, it's swirling, its heart rate is up, it's running literally for its life. It's running out of fear. It's not trying to get eaten, right? And then once, the chase is done and they've gotten somewhere safe, they're around their family, they look, oh, cousin's good, mom's good, okay, we're good, the lion's good. They snap out of survival mode and they go back to eating. They know, it's like they're wired. Okay, fight or flight is needed for sure, but once the chase is done and the predators are out and out of the picture, I could just return back to living, not looking over my shoulder, just living, being around loved ones, traveling, eating this grass or whatever the hell antelope eats. Like, I don't know. Like, that was an example of animals get it. They don't stay in survival mode. They're not constantly looking over their shoulder out of fear. They're not always constantly on the go. It's needed sometimes. And I'm not saying don't work. That's not what I'm saying. I don't need y'all like putting words in my mouth. That's not what I'm saying. But if animals get it and it's in their DNA to turn it on and turn it off, why don't we get it? We we're wired to do the same. You would think we're not wired to stress and be in fear and anxiety and to work and to be mad and upset and angry. And there's times and places for that, but to stay in that mode, and that's the crazy thing is, we get addicted to it. How many of us have been in a toxic relationship and then we end up in a healthy one. But we're like, damn, like the toxic one was more exciting. It was more things to do, and it was, you know, like not all of us, but some of us are like, damn, like it was way more exciting than this healthy, boring relationship. Like I think a lot of us too stay in survival mode because it's addicting. We like the stress. We like to be overworked. We like to complain about our bills. It's so much easier to be in fear and in stress and in turmoil than to just live, just be, just enjoy the silence, enjoy living in the moment and not worrying about the future or the past, just being present. Like, oh my gosh. So a lot of us like being in survival mode too. We just never 1 minute, like we'll complain about it, but we'll go right back to it the next moment, or the next minute, you know. But my solution is this, you guys. I don't want to keep rumbling and tumbling and grumbling on and on, but my solution is this, okay? Step number 1 is acknowledgement. Acknowledge. Don't be in denial. If you're in survival mode, say it for what it is. That's step number 1. I'm currently in survival mode. I'm out of work, but I'm grinding and I'm saving and stacking, and I got plans and goals. That leads me to number 2, to get out of survival mode. Have a plan. If you're gonna be in survival mode, be strategic about it. Like a antelope. They're in survival mode for a moment, and once the lion's gone, okay, they're back to going on the move and traveling with their pack and eating grass and whatever else antelope do. Have a plan. Have a timeline. How long do you need to be in survival mode? What do you need to do to get out of survival mode? How much money do you need to make? How many jobs do you need to work? How many streams of income do you need to be financially free? Have a plan. Have an end time. Have an end step. And then point number 3. Once you give yourself time and you have yourself a plan, number 3, get the hell out of survival mode. Excuse me. Step number 3. Once you are able and you're putting your plan in action and you understand that there's going to be days where nothing's in motion. You fell off. You didn't meet a goal. You made mistakes. But you still grind. And once you are like at a place where, okay, I'm making enough. I made the right moves. It wasn't easy, but I'm here. Whew. Step number 3 is ensure you're in a place to never survive again. Not permanently. Hi, son. Sun's up. That's my step number 3. But overall, what I want to tell you too is try these approaches with God. Yes, baby. Try these approaches with God and tell me what happens. If you try to do this by yourself, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's so much better. And I'm learning this right now as a baby Christian. It's so much easier to do this with Him by your side, with His guidance, with His light. You can do it by yourself. I'm not saying, you you have to be spiritual. I'm not saying go to church. I'm not saying, whatever, to each his own. But what I will say, it is so much easier, so much more fulfilling, so much. Tell them, son. Tell them all. So much easier. I'm learning that now. It's so much easier to be a single parent with God as a co-parent than just by myself. But that's another video. Do it with Him. Step number 1, acknowledge you're in survival mode. Step number 2, have a plan. Step number 3, make sure you're able to, for generations, not be able to survive anymore. That stuff's not okay. Our ancestors did it okay. If our ancestors did it, cool. If our parents did it, all right. But we gotta be the ones, no matter what age you are, what race you are, get the hell out of survival mode. I don't care what the economy look like. I don't care if there's another pandemic on the way. I don't care. Make sure you are good. You're able to survive and be in that mode sometimes, but make sure it's just that, a mode, not your entire life or your entire existence. Make sure you are able, for generations, if you can stay out of that survival shit, because that shit is toxic. That shit can kill you. That shit can drain you to the point You don't have enough love to give to your spouse. You don't have enough love to give to your children. Hell, you might not even have enough love to give to your fucking pets. Excuse my language. But you do not want to stay in survival mode, you guys. We were not put here to survive. We were not put here to exist. We were put here to live. To live. The reason why you're not happy with your life is probably because you're just existing. You're just in survival mode. Put a plan in motion. Pray about it. Get spiritual, because believe it or not, we are spirit beings having a human experience. We are spirits having a human experience. This human flesh is not permanent. It's temporary. So whether you going to start this spiritual journey now with God, or this spiritual walk with him now, or 50 years down the line, that's up to you. But you're going to probably start it 9 times out of 10 in this lifetime. So why not sooner? So I want to wrap this video up with saying, get the hell up out of survival mode. Do what you got to do. But when you out, make sure you find ways to stay out. Okay? Okay. And last but not least, the song of the day is Jumpman by Coda the Friend. Once again, it is Jumpman by Coda the Friend. I think that is a great song to listen to. If you want to really get out of survival mode, listen to some motivational music that gets you, that lights a fire under your butt. Jumpman by Coda the Friend. That song will make you want to save the world. For real. Yes. So that's all I got for you guys today. Survival mode. Survival mode. Once again, the song of the day is Jumpman by Coda the Friend. Dope guy. If you can listen to more of his music, I strongly encourage you to. He's dope. He's from like New York City, and yo, his Jumpman is gonna make you got a book to write, put that song on. If you got classes to take and you trying to go back to school or whatever, put that song on. If you got a finals, I know it's final season for a lot of you guys, put that song on. It'll make you feel like you could save the world. All right, Cairo's tripping. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Love you, and I love your goddamn self.